Arizona's beautiful winter weather is our most enduring renewable resource, and it's a key component of our economy. Are you praying for sunshine?
Well, not only sunshine, but we pray for cold weather in the Midwest and the East this time of year as well. Anytime we can get that 50 to 70 degree differential between Tucson and some of our top feeder markets, you really start to see a lot of additional activity on our website, people calling and booking those vacations. So sleet and snow in the Midwest and the East, that's our best friend right now.
As the winter tourism season builds to its peak, we look at how it's bouncing back from the recession and other issues. It's Arizona Week.
Production of Arizona Week is made possible in parts by a grant from the Stonewall Foundation and by the members of Arizona Public Media. Thank you for your continued support. Once again, your moderator, Michael Chiha.
Think Arizona winter, think tourism. And that means the next 2 or 3 months are crucial to the economy as cold weather denizens look for some warmth. We spoke with several people in the local industry to find out how the winter season is shaping up. We'll start this evening with Brent DeRadd, whose job as CEO of the Metropolitan Tucson Convention and Visitors Bureau makes him responsible for finding people and getting them to come and stay a while. Is Tucson whole again when it comes to winter tourism and tourism in general?
We're not quite there yet. When we fell off during the recession, starting back in 2008, that drop was really precipitous. I mean, we pretty much fell off a cliff, and so the gradual climb back, we're getting to where we were back in about 2006-07. We're not quite there yet. So it's been a long climb. Things are certainly much better than they were 4 to 5 years ago, but we still have a way to go.
Is the picture the same throughout Arizona, do you think?
It definitely is. I mean, as we take a look at Smith Travel Research, that's the company that really tracks the hotel occupancy numbers and rates, et cetera. What we're seeing is that Arizona as a whole is still somewhat down to where it was 4 to 5 years ago. The rest of the nation is in somewhat of a similar boat, but they've recovered probably a little bit more quickly than Arizona has.
We're right on the cusp of the height of the season, both in Tucson and Phoenix, in the desert, southwest in fact. What kind of a season will it be?
What we're seeing and hearing out there, anecdotally from the hoteliers, the pre-bookings for peak season look really strong at this point. The hotel rates still aren't where they probably should be, but the occupancy continues to increase gradually. I think here in Tucson, you look at things like the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. We've got FC Tucson and their Desert Diamond Cup and other events and activities. We think it's going to be a strong February and March.
Spring training consolidated in the Phoenix area a couple years ago, leaving Tucson with that gap in its winter tourism. Has that been filled yet?
It really hasn't. I think anytime you lose Major League Baseball spring training, it's such a draw, especially for people from those markets. In our case, Chicago and Denver are cities that we've seen visitation down from just slightly over the past few years. It certainly goes back to spring training. What we look at, especially in the short term, what can we do in terms of events and activities that might bring some of those people back? And so I think the growth of our existing events, that's been strong. We need to find some new and different events, though, if we're really going to make that full recovery.
And then both in Tucson and statewide, controversy from the politics of the anti-immigration movement in the state. Are you still feeling the effects of that?
We are. We'll still hear from leisure travelers asking if it's safe to come to Tucson and to different parts of Arizona. We'll also hear from meeting planners who have told us we can't really look at Arizona right now still just based on the immigration policies that are in place. And it really on the meeting side. And for us, that's about 40 to 50% of our business here in Tucson. We felt it more on that side, probably more on the leisure side.
What do you say to politicians about that? Do you inform them that it's hurting business?
We have, and I think we've been very vocal about that, whether it's with local, county, state, or federal officials as well. This is more of a state and federal issue, and so that's really where we focused our efforts on it. But I think they certainly understand that Arizona has suffered in a major way based on those policies. And I think when you look at Tucson specifically, Tucson is probably, just in terms of the policies, especially locally and from a county standpoint, there's a lot of interaction and give and take between Tucson, Pima County, and different states and cities within Mexico. We have a very strong relationship from a travel tourism standpoint and on the trade side as well.
that outreach to Mexico, what does that bring to Tucson in terms of winter tourism?
You know, it's our understanding that in terms of overall impact, it's probably somewhere between $600 and $700 million on an annual basis in terms of visitation from Mexico into Tucson and Pima County. For us, that's significant. When we take a larger look at it with trade as well, it's my understanding it's closer to a $2 billion industry in terms of how Tucson and Pima County benefit from Mexican trade and visitation.
And the overall impact of tourism in the Tucson area in dollar terms?
We look at it, again, this is figures that we got from the Arizona Office of Tourism not that long ago, but it's a $2 billion industry on an annual basis here in Tucson and Pima County. When you look at the number of jobs as well, about 21,000 jobs throughout the county have some type of tie into tourism.
And have we seen that increase recently? Is it still down from the pre-recession period?
It is down significantly still from those pre-recession days. I think if you look at the middle part of that last decade, we were probably upwards of somewhere between 25 and 30,000 jobs affiliated with tourism. Now it's down into more that 20 to probably 22,000 range, but it's slowly starting to climb. We think that as the economy continues to improve and tourism continues to improve, you'll see greater job impacts.
Those of us who live and make our lives in Tucson may take a lot of things for granted here, but what's new from the visitor perspective in the old Pueblo?
Well, what we look at, you know, for the most part is some of the hotel changes, if you will. Casino del Sol has been a great addition. We've got some hotels and resorts under renovation right now, specifically taking a look at Westin La Paloma. I think that'll be a great addition to the marketplace once all their rooms are back. The biggest thing for us, though, our budget from a Convention and Visitors Bureau standpoint, we were at about $10 million 5 years ago. We're now at $6.5 million. Bottom line for us is we need to get our advertising out in a bigger way. We know what our top feeder markets are. We just have to get those messages out there because customers love coming in and really experiencing the beautiful outdoor environment, hiking, cycling, birding, a lot of the outdoor adventure recreation. We just need to tell more people about that.
Are you praying for sunshine?
Well, not only sunshine, but we pray for cold weather in the Midwest and the East this time of year as well. Anytime we can get that 50 to 70 degree differential between Tucson and some of our top feeder markets, you really start to see a lot of additional activity on our website, people calling and booking those vacations. So sleet and snow in the Midwest and the East, that's our best friend right now.
Next up will be the general manager of one of Tucson's destination resorts, the Hilton El Conquistador, on the west end of the Santa Catalina Mountains, north of the city. But before that, we're here with one of his guests, and you are?
Mirza Kazarchanin from Melbourne, Australia.
Melbourne, Australia.
Correct.
And what brings you to Tucson?
Well, I work in the mining industry, and at the moment, the Mine Site Automation Communication Forum is being held here at the hotel. It started on Monday, and I arrived here on Sunday.
And your first time to Tucson?
First time to Tucson. I've been to Arizona before.
And what attracts you here? What do you like about it?
Well, other than work, I love the scenery. I mean, I don't think we can see right now, but there's a beautiful set of mountains behind us. Love the weather. It's a good way for me to ease in. My wife and I are moving from Australia to the U.S. This week, and it's a good stop before we head over to the East Coast.
And in Australia right now, it's summer.
It is, yes.
So very hot.
It's very hot. Actually, there's a lot of bushfires and everything around, so good to get away from that.
And this weather suits you?
Yes, I love it. I mean, I grew up in Sweden, so I'm more comfortable to colder weather, but I thought it was a good transition for my wife to come in here before she faces the East Coast winter.
And is she Australian?
She is, yes.
And is this her first visit?
This is her first time to the U.S., so everything's new to her, and it's pretty exciting to see her react to a whole bunch of things.
Lynn Ericksen, thanks for being with me.
Thanks for inviting me, Michael. It's great to be here.
You said in an email to me earlier in the week that the tourism industry in Arizona is on the road to recovery. Would you expound on that?
Well, we, as you well know, I mean, we've been through some difficult times, to say the least. Literally double-digit declines over the course of the last several years, and it's been hurtful for the industry, and to a great extent, we've tracked what's happening elsewhere in the nation. Tucson has been a market that has been a little bit slow to recover. We're a little bit on the back end of that recovery for a lot of different kinds of reasons, but we're feeling modestly optimistic now. We're beginning to see the fundamental demand in our business start to return. And for us, one of the major barometers of that is really what's happening in the group markets, because they're typically booking in advance, maybe 2 months, but often as far as 4 or 5 years out as well.
And the group bookings are those like conventions, association meetings, company meetings where they bring in quite a few people, right?
Mm-hmm. It is. And what's particularly compelling, Michael, is we're starting to see those groups that, the big groups that book maybe 3, 4, 5 years out, and those groups really, that was what was missing during the recessionary economy. They're starting to gain the confidence to move back into the market now. And we've started to see a recovery with those long-term bookings in 2015, 2016, and even into 2017.
Would you call that a return to the norm?
It is absolutely a solid move in the direction of the norm. We still have a growth story that we need to work on in this region. And we will be working on that story for the next 3 to 5 years to really get back to where we were pre-recession.
Pretty much what people are saying about a lot of aspects of the economy, that we're still 2 or 3 or 4 years out from returning to normal.
Mm-hmm. I think that's accurate. The good news is the march has started. You know, we are underway, and we're seeing that confidence, that consumer sentiment that's starting to return.
So what are your bookings looking like for this winter season? Are up from the last couple of years?
They are. And part of that is this group base that we talk about, this base of group room nights. And part of it is continuing increases in demand with our individual travelers. You know, we're right at the start of our season, Michael. This upcoming week, we're looking at Gem Show, which is one of the largest demand generators in the Tucson economy. Right after Gem Show, we move into the Accenture Match Play, which is again another significant demand generator for our economy. But beyond that, and what really counts is, if there isn't a special event, is the market still performing? And we're seeing that fundamental increase in demand of the individual traveler who's starting to say, okay, I'm beginning to feel more confidence. I'm going to take my family on vacation.
So what soft spots are you seeing now, if any, in the way the market is starting to develop?
I think there remains a fragility in the market, Michael. And that really relates and corresponds to some degree with even some of the indecision, I'll say, or even, I'm not going to call it paralysis, but certainly the challenges that we see in Washington, D.C., that the national challenges do impact Main Street. And when we see our leaders at the national level struggle with some of the kinds of hurdles that they've encountered in the financial markets and what have you, that either has the effect of creating confidence or breaking confidence, consumer confidence, and the level that the consumer is going to get out and start to spend money again.
There are a number of things that aren't in your control as a businessman. Fuel prices, the weather, the economy overall, what might be going on in Washington. How do you factor those into planning for your business?
That's an excellent question. And then, of course, Tucson, it's always that prayer for, sunny days, the perfect golfing weather, or the perfect day to get out and play tennis and what have you. And those are certainly some of the variables that we deal with. And in our case, we've now been we'll be celebrating our 30th year here this upcoming year in this location, and we've I think come to a point where we really understand the market, understand our demand generators, and of course a lot of it is the agility of a business to be able to respond to those unique events that occur in the national or the statewide economy, and that really impact our business, our ability to predict and then execute on our business plan.
You told me that tourism in Arizona is the second biggest payroll in the state. What are state and local governments doing to support growth in that?
You know, I think that's really critical. Economies are holistic. We're one piece of the economy, and we're a major contributor. There are over 150,000 jobs that are created in the state of Arizona based on travel and tourism. Every year, $18 billion in revenue is coming into this state, and $5 billion of that $18 billion is turning into payroll. That payroll gets spent, and it goes out to shopping or local attractions, food and beverage, the basic necessities of life, rent, lodging, certainly, and then turns around and comes back at us when those people are ready to find their vacation. And we have the Phoenicians traveling south to Tucson, or the Tucsonans traveling north to Phoenix. Going back to your original question, though, we have an amazing story to tell in this state. It's a fabulously beautiful state. We've got the weather, we've got the Grand Canyon, we've got the Push Ridge and the amazing attractions here, particularly in southern Arizona. The Arizona Sonoran Desert Museum, the wonderful restaurants that we have in literally every quadrant of this city. But we have to tell our story. You can't just have that. You got to market it. You've got to be out there with advertisement. And there are two significant ways that happens. One is through the Arizona Office of Tourism. And we're pleased to see that our elected officials have funded that office at $14.5 million this year. They were as low as $7 million in the depths of the economy, but they've been as high as over $23 million in the pre-recessionary economy. So while we're on the road to recovery, we are still not where we want to be from a statewide point of view in terms of competing with New Mexico, California, Nevada, and those states that we regularly compete with for the travelers.
As we sit here visiting with one another, enjoying the sun shining down on us this afternoon, the answer to this question might seem obvious, but what is the one thing that attracts winter visitors to Arizona? Is it the sunshine?
I think it's the sunshine, but you know, it's also this amazing multicultural, multinational, this real Southwest experience. If we can get people to Tucson, when we want to book a group, what we do is find a way to get them to visit Tucson. And once they're here, it's almost impossible for them to say no. It's the cultural fabric, the amazing destination experience with our local promotions and museums. Again, the Arizona Sonoran Desert Museum. We have 4 incredible museums on campus at the university. That's hard to resist.
Winter visitors need to eat, and that means they populate local restaurants. And local restaurateurs know how important that is to their business. To find out just how important it is in the winter tourism season, we spoke with a leading Tucson restaurateur. Chef Janos Wilder, owner-chef of Downtown Kitchen and Cocktails, thanks for speaking with me.
Oh, great to be with you.
First of all, how's business?
Really good. We're really happy, yeah.
And are you seeing a pickup now that we're in the winter visitor season?
Yes, and we've seen that now. We really saw a good turnaround coming out of the summer, and October was a strong month. November, December are good months. Now January's picked up where those left off, and we're just on the cusp of really what we would call full-on season, really this weekend.
And within the next 2 to 3 weeks is when the real boom comes with the gem show, the rodeo, spring training soccer in town.
Right.
Some residual from spring training in Phoenix coming down this way.
Oh, I hope so.
How's that looking for you and frankly for the industry throughout Tucson?
It's always a really big time of the year for us and an important time of the year. Being downtown, really ground zero for Gem Show, that's a tremendous piece of our business. And so I have a little historical perspective from being here originally downtown from the early '80s through most of the '90s, then being up on the Westin until just recently. Downtown is the strongest affected by the gem show, and then other parts of the city certainly see a lot of that business, but the downtown area really is major impact from the gem show. So we really are looking for the next couple of weeks that are going to be very, very busy for us.
So your friends who are in business as well with other restaurants throughout town, they're seeing a pickup too, do you think?
I think everybody sees a pickup through gem show, and this is the traditional season that we all look forward to, and we really begin in the second half of January. So gem show is a piece of that, but it's really in addition to that, it's the winter visitors coming in, be it the folks who are coming in to stay for the winter, or tourists coming in for the winter to get away from winter from elsewhere in the country. So we see that in a lot of different ways, with the gem show being the first of that and the biggest of the impacts.
You've been in this location a little over 2 years. What's your experience from 1 year to the next? Are you seeing growth in business?
Yeah, we are. We started off strong here, and we've seen growth since we've been here as well, and we really look for that to continue. Downtown is unique now in Tucson, is that it really is becoming a vital urban center. We're getting a lot more attention. People are coming. I don't mean just this business. I mean downtown as a whole. People are realizing there's a lot of new things to do downtown. The cultural events, which have always been here, are going strong, but as well as new restaurants and bars and night places to go.
Are any aspects of the restaurant business in Tucson still experiencing residual effects of the recession?
Yeah, I think so. I think that they are. I think that as you spread out farther from the center of downtown, I think that it might be a little bit tougher because you're not getting quite that notoriety for being in a really up and coming urban center here. And I'm not sure that the resorts have really fully recovered yet. So there's the resorts and the businesses that depend on them. I'm not sure that they're fully recovered and back yet.
How important is the winter visitor season to your business in the concentrated 2 or 3 months that people are really here? How much of your business do you do in that time?
I guess about 40% of it here, maybe 40 to 45% of it, rather than the third that you would think. This becomes more of where we are now, becomes more of a year-round market for it. And winter's still very, very strong, but we don't see nearly the slowdown in the summer that we've seen elsewhere.
And is that a factor about downtown, or is that what's going on in the market in general?
No, I think it's more of a factor of being downtown.
And how do you market? How do you let people know that you're here and open for business?
The first thing we do is cook great food and have great service. I'm serious about that. That's where it all starts, because then you let your guests do your marketing. That's the most important thing that we can do, and that's where 95% of our focus goes. Then from a marketing standpoint, then we look for various internet-based marketing strategies that we employ, websites, e-blasts, tweeting, Facebook, those sorts of things, as well as some traditional print media outlets as well.
You've been in the restaurant business in one way or another for almost 40 years.
Don't say that. It scared me.
It's true.
All
well,
right, it is true.
How has the marketing aspect of it been changed by the internet?
Tremendously, tremendously. We can take responsibility for our own marketing now to a much greater extent than we ever could do. So we can control what we do on our Facebook. We can control our website. We can control e-blast. We can control Foursquare. There's all sorts of different ways that you can put the message out there that never used to exist. The traditional methods were mostly print media. You could do radio, you could do TV. We always chose to do print media, but those were media that you didn't control. And so the schedules, for a number of things you couldn't control with those, from schedule to content to all sorts of things. But you control the message and you control the medium with the internet.
And does the internet also allow you to do some tracking so you can do better projecting?
Yes and no. It's a little harder. Back in the days when you did print, when print media was heavy, and you could still do this now, you wouldn't really know whether it was effective unless you put some sort of specific offer or a coupon, which we never really like to do. Well, it's not that dissimilar with doing internet marketing, unless you're giving something specifically that you can track where they're coming from based on what the questions are that they're asking you or the offer that you've put out. You can't track it necessarily in that way.
Overall, good time to be in the restaurant business?
If you love the restaurant business, it's always a good time to be in it. If you don't, never get in it.
We'll close tonight with this chat with a relative newcomer to Arizona to find out what kinds of things attract her to the state that some of us who've been here a long time might take for granted. Hi.
Hi there.
Your name is?
Christine Knox.
And you've been in Arizona 2 years, you told me. And what attracted you to Arizona?
Employment. My husband, we came from Michigan, and my husband got a promotion with a sister company out here.
The weather here is a little different than in Michigan, right?
Yes.
And
I love it.
You love it here. And the sunshine, you mentioned that?
Yeah, I've always been a sun girl. Not a big fan of the humidity, so I like the dry desert weather.
And what else about Arizona has caught your attention since you've been here?
The landscape and the outdoor activities. I love to lay the pool, but I also like to hike and see the different things that the area has to offer.
And even though you live in the state now, you're spending a little time here at the resort because you're visiting with friends?
I am. They have a conference here at the Hilton, so I'm kind of taking advantage of that and checking out one of our awesome resorts. I've actually, being a newcomer, I think I've probably seen a lot more of Tucson than most people have been here all their lives. You know, I've hit all the big events, and I've checked out many of the resorts.
And that's what our winter visitors do, and you are now a permanent resident, but started out by just coming for employment and now taking it all in all the time.
Yeah, my friends and family back home, when are you moving back? I go, I don't have any plans yet.
Good.
I'm here to stay, I think.
See longer versions of all of our interviews on our website, azweek.com. That's our program for Friday, February 1st, 2013. Thanks for watching Arizona Week. I'm Michael Chihak.
Production of Arizona Week is made possible in parts by a grant from the Stonewall Foundation and by the members of Arizona Public Media. Thank you for your continued support.